Hey everyone, Hassan here. I got another Power Rangers review for you today. This is the Power Rangers Trivial Pursuit. So they released a Power Rangers Monopoly for the 20th anniversary, and now there is a Trivial Pursuit. So this is what the box looks like. I'm going to prop down the iPad for a second here. And basically, with this review, there's not too much to review with something like this. I mean, it's a board game, you know? So I'm not going to go over like all the rules and that kind of stuff. It's a board game, and basically what I want to focus on is I'll show you all the contents of this. I'll show you what this includes, I'll show you the box, and I'll show you, all of that stuff. But the main part of this review, and this review might actually, this kind of thing would typically take 5-6 minutes maybe just to kind of go over everything it comes with. This review is probably going to be a lot longer than that because I'm going to be talking a lot about two different things in particular. One being, I'm going to try and show you a bunch of the different cards. I'm not going to go through all the different questions. There's thousands, and it's just obviously way too much. But I'm going to try and at least give you a good idea of the types of questions you're going to see. And two, I also want to show you, or talk about, I guess, the issues with this and whether, whether this whole thing is worth it or not. So I want to give you my opinion on that. But first, here's the box. So as you can see, here's the 20 Red Rangers there. Got a nice Red Ranger helmet, Trivial Pursuit, pretty sweet, box art there. I like that they kind of incorporated the Red Rangers in the visor there. Power Rangers 20th Anniversary Edition, same little logo thingy that they use on the Monopoly. I did a review of the Monopoly as well, so check that out if you're interested. All of the sides of the box show the Red Rangers there again. Yeah, my box was a bit damaged a little bit, so I am considering sending it back maybe, because this thing was a pretty decent price. It was on Amazon at the time. It was like $40 or something, so it's rather expensive. So I am definitely considering sending that back, just because that's just, come on there, then the back says Power Rangers 20 Trivial Pursuit. There's the Megazord. It does come with a customized die featuring the little lightning bolt there. Gives you a couple examples of some of the different questions there. And basically there's 300 cards of questions. Each card has 6 questions on it, one from each of these categories. So Ranger Gear, Allies and Villains, Rangers and the Zords, the Legacy, Behind the Power, and Wild Card. So 300 cards, 6 questions each. That gives you 1,800 questions there. So lots of different questions. Oops, and there's the box and everything, or the actual board. I'll show you that in detail. But that's basically that. So let's open this thing up now. So let's move this out of the way. The side gives you the ads for Monopoly right there, which I've done a review of. The 20th Anniversary Trivial Pursuit, and yeah. Anyways, so this includes, right here, here's the board. Looks pretty nice, Power Rangers 20th Anniversary Edition, the little cover. So I'll open that up in just a second. It does come with this little sheet here, which we'll take a look at. And then this stuff here. There's nothing underneath this, this little plastic thingy. But it does come with these pieces here. So you do have those. Honestly, I've played Trivial Pursuit like once a long time ago. I can't even remember what kind it was. So I'm not too familiar with the rules, but I'm pretty sure it's like your standard Trivial Pursuit rules. Just obviously Power Rangers cards. So you have these pieces as well, which I believe are the actual player pieces. The little dice right there, which has the lightning bolt, as you can see. So that's pretty cool. I didn't fully open that up because I wasn't sure. I wanted to keep at least some of the stuff packaged just in case I end up returning this thing because the box. So there's that. Here are the cards, but first let's take a quick look at some of this other stuff. So there's this little insert that it comes with. Pretty nice little artwork and stuff in the background. There's your Red Rangers. Welcome to Trivial Pursuit Power Rangers 20th Anniversary Edition. Comes with a game board, 36 wedges and the 6 wedge holders. That many cards, like I said, in the die. So you want to be the first player to collect all 6 wedges and answer a final question to win. So here's how to get ready and all that fun stuff. The back gives you kind of the instructions there for how to play. And this explains the different categories. So there's 6 categories, like I said. So Ranger Gear basically has all these questions about their weapons, morphers, vehicles, all that sort of stuff. Allies and villains has different questions there. There's actually some questions about later on in Megaforce, so there's some spoilers that I saw in that category. Rangers and their Zords. Then we have the Legacy, Behind the Power with different random stuff, like in terms of like actors and actresses that have appeared on other shows and things like that, and then Wild Card with other stuff. And this, I guess it kind of puts a little disclaimer saying what the difference between a suit actor and a voice actor. But what's cool about this, there's the Go Say Great. I wanted to focus on this little bit of it here. So the Trivial Pursuit, the questions were fielded from the Power Force members, the group of 20 fans that were chosen by Saban Brands to basically promote the show. So they submitted questions for Trivial Pursuit. So it shows special thanks to a couple of people there and the following members of the Power Force team. So shout out to the Power Force, Black Nerd, Dan's Toku Rants, Fury Diamond, Gold Phoenix Ranger, Green Ranger, Joe Rovang, Keith Justice, Kevin the Director, Lavender Ranger, Linear Ranger, Morphin Legacy, Mr. Yellow, and Omega Ranger Red. Shout out to the Power Force. As we will get to in a little bit, the questions, there's a lot of different errors in some of these questions. That is not their fault. These guys submitted questions. They offered to fact check, but Saban Brands and stuff, the people behind the Trivial Pursuit also said, USAopoly, they were like, oh no, we got some, but we'll take care of it. We'll fact check. No, they did not. There's some spelling errors. There's incorrect stuff. So I respect Power Force for all the stuff that they've done, and there's a lot of great questions in here. So thank you to them, but the issues lie with some of the others, which makes this little disclaimer all the more hilarious. This is basically saying they tried to find information from the show, from actual documents and stuff, as opposed to what people remember, which is not always reliable. So it's saying some of these things, some of the answers may conflict with what, the myths and the misinformation that's long been a part of Power Rangers lore. Basically, they're saying some of the mistakes are actually from documents and not, really, guys? Come on, this disclaimer is just ridiculous. So anyways, there's that. We'll be happy to hear your questions or comments about the game. So these are the people you can talk to if you have any issues with it, which probably not going to change anything anyways. But so that's that. Then here's the board. I'll show you guys what the game board looks like as well. So let's open this thing up. This might be a little hard to show on the iPad, but basically it's kind of like this. So I'll sort of prop it up and show you a little bit. So you have the Megazord there, the Lightning Bolts. There's Alpha 5, the Power Morpher, the Zordon in the command center, and just some generic video thing there. All along the sides you have different images. So there's Alpha 5's head. There's a little drink there, probably to represent, I guess, Ernie's juice bar. I don't know. A TV, Lightning Bolt, Megazord helmet. Yeah, that's basically all the different things there. All leads right into 20th Anniversary Edition. So that's the game board. Pretty neat. Not as cool of a design as like the Monopoly thing, because that was really sweet. But still, not too bad. The main focus of this being the questions here. So, I just want to go through some of these. And with this, so there's 300 cards. Alright. There's a lot of cards, as you can see right here. Lots. So I just want to try and see if I can find some interesting stuff here. So let me zoom in, just to give you an idea of the types of questions that you're going to see. So the first category is going to be your, if I can remember correctly, the Ranger gear. So here's talking about the Dragon Sword for which Megaforce Ranger. It's the red Megaforce Ranger. The pink category being your allies and villains. So this is asking who the Guardian of the Megaforce Rangers is. It's Gosei. Name 2 of the 5 Megaforce Rangers. That's for the Rangers and their Zords category. So Emma, Jake, Gia, Noah, and Troy. The purple category is the Legacy. Name 2 of Emma Goodall's main interests in Megaforce. So BMX bikes and photography. What year was the Power Rangers franchise reacquired by Haim Saban? So that would be a Behind the Power category question. 2010. And the last category is the wild card. Name 2 of the 4 Ranger teams that have the word Force in their name. So you have your Mystic Force, Wild Force, Time Force, and Mega Force. So those are kind of an idea of some of the types of questions that you may encounter here. Let me see if I can find some other interesting little questions here. You know, you're going to get some behind-the-scenes stuff like, who was the Megaforce Ranger actor who was once a roommate of Alex Hartman? That would be Azim Rizk, the Black Megaforce Ranger. So let's see what else I can find that's interesting. So there's going to be, there are a couple of Megaforce spoilers that I found in here. So just heads up about that. You may see some, so here's a little spoiler here. Who's the brother of the prince that controls the approaching arm? Oh, look at that. There's a spelling error, as you can see right there. So there's no, they forgot an A in approaching. So basically they're talking about, I forgot his name. We just found out the name of the guy, in Super Megaforce, but his brother is Vrock, so that's a Super Megaforce spoiler, so the answer is Vrock here. And there's also something from later in Megaforce. What villain does Vrock briefly align with to create a robotic force to fight against the Megaforce Rangers? That would be Metal Alice and her underground mutants, so that's for later in Megaforce. So they do have a bunch of like those types of questions and stuff as well. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of skip around a little and see what else I can find. Let's see if there's anything else interesting. So you can kind of get an idea of some of the different... Here's a question that caused a lot of controversy, and they did not take it out. Which original Power Ranger actor sadly passed away after a car accident in 2001? So it's obviously Tui Trang, who played Trini. So a lot of people are kind of upset about that question there. Yeah, so let's just kind of skip ahead a little and just pick something else. So basically, as you'll see, there's a lot of these types of questions. I don't even know the answers to these. I mean, I've been a fan of the show since day one. I don't even remember the answers to a lot of these things. It's kind of crazy. So that makes it kind of interesting. And I will say that these questions basically, you're going to find some errors. You know, there's stuff in there about who performed the Operation Overdrive theme song, and it said it was Samuel Benta, Will, the Black Ranger from Overdrive, which is not true. You're going to find something about like how many movies have been made for Power Rangers, and it says 3. So there's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, Turbo Power Rangers movie, and then what else? Are they counting Clash of the Red Rangers? Apparently. So, you know, there's some weird stuff like that. So it's kind of, my opinion of this is very similar to the Monopoly thing, in that the Monopoly board had a bunch of errors. Right? And the errors were annoying, but the main fun of the game had you going around the board and kind of, you know, obviously trying to collect the Zords or Megazords, as they called them, versus apartments and houses and everything, trying to, you know, buy the different locations and everything. And so that's still really fun. So I really enjoy the Monopoly. It has its issues, definitely. But overall, I enjoy it. Trivial Pursuit, it has its issues. You know, it has its cards that have the wrong questions and stuff like that, and there's no excuse for that. They definitely should have fact-checked, and I can totally understand why people would not want to get this because of those issues. You know, I can understand that. Having said that, for me, there's 300 cards in here. If even 5 to 10% of these cards had issues with them, which is a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if it were that many, to be honest. You still have so many other cards that you can use. And there's so many facts in here that I can't even remember some of these things, you know? So I think I can find a lot of enjoyment from this, even if I remove all those other cards that have issues. I still find a lot of enjoyment out of it. So personally, I still think it's worth it, but I can understand if some other people may not, you know. So, like, here's another odd question here. What is the primary color in Power Ranger toy packaging? Apparently, it's green. Is it? I don't. Let's see. Here's something from Megaforce. I don't see any green. I don't. Okay, well, here's a Mega Bloks thing which has green, but usually all the other Megaforce stuff doesn't, and I don't remember Samurai having much green, if I remember correctly. So it's just, I don't know. There's some weird questions in there, but there's also some really neat, like, specific, questions as well, like this. The song Space Girl from Power Rangers Dino Thunder appeared in what other season? I have no idea. Apparently it was Ninja Storm, and they sometimes will give you additional information. Capri and Mara lip sync the song for a talent show audition. So there's some stuff like that like I feel like I could learn a lot about the show just from watching this as well. And there's stuff about like the producers as well. So which co-producer's nickname makes him a chip off the old block? Judd Chiplin. So it kind of has that thing there. So I don't know. There's some interesting questions here. So again, I'm not going to go through every single thing, but I just want to cycle through here and see if there's anything that sort of stands out. What was Zordon's name in the original pilot? So some of these questions are going to be easy and some aren't. Unfortunately, I don't really have anyone to play this game with. Nobody in my family is going to know any of this stuff from Power Rangers. But I kind of got it just so I have all these trivia things, which might be fun to just kind of mess around with and sort of, see if I can remember some of these things. So this kind of just gives you a general idea there. So anyways, I guess if there's any specific question that you want to know about, there's 300 cards here, so if you want to know if there's a certain question in this thing, I don't know if I'm going to be able to search through this entire thing looking for just that one question. But if there's something, you have a generic question about it, then maybe let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But I just wanted to kind of go and give you a general idea. So like I said, this video is already 17 minutes long. I tend to ramble. But the main thing about this is Trivial Pursuit is Trivial Pursuit. There's questions, you answer it, it's pretty simple. But the main thing that I really want to get across is the whole issue about the game and whether it's still worth it or not. So there's going to be some people that really will not think it's worth it. Some people have already said that. I think some people have said they want to return it already. And I have my own opinion, which is that I still think it's worth it despite these other issues. So there's no excuse for those issues. They really had all the chances that they could have. Like, the Power Force was willing to help them out and everything, and they still didn't want to take advantage of that. Despite all that, hey, what are you going to do? You can't force anybody to do anything, I guess. So there's still a lot of great questions in here. And there's some really odd questions, or not odd, but really random questions, I guess, like this. Which children's magazine gave away the identity of the White Ranger before the episode aired? Apparently it was Disney Adventures. So, so I'm not going to know half this stuff, but it makes it kind of interesting. So just kind of skipping through. And here's, another example of a weird question. Why was Steve Cardenas absent from the Forever Red episode in Power Rangers Time Force? He was in the process of moving and production couldn't get a hold of him. Yeah, that's true, but it's like, why is that a question? There's something in here, I think, about Aaron Cahill dating Seal, which I thought they had even denied, and then why is that even a question? There's some really random stuff. But then at the same time, you still have, the questions that very specific, like, why does Omega Ranger travel back to 2025 in Power Rangers SP? Okay, well, that's kind of probably a bit more general, easy question there. But something a bit more in-depth, maybe. Name one of the 3 names for the man who was once... No, that's probably a bit easier, too. So there's some really specific questions in here, too. You know what I mean? Like, just looking. I'm sure if you pause the video, you'll find some stuff that really can be challenging. So there's a lot of things here. So there's some interesting stuff. So I'm just kind of filtering through here. I mean, really, if there's nothing else I have to say about this, so if you want to stop watching, feel free. I'm just kind of going through it and seeing if I can find some other random interesting things to show you. That's really what this video is going to be about, just giving you Trivial Pursuit's all about the trivia, so I just want to give you an idea there. So, like, some of these are easy. Which Wild Force Ranger was raised in the jungle? I wonder which one. Obviously, it was Cole. Hey, they got it right. But I'm gonna give you a, and I haven't really mixed up the cards at all, so I think they're going in a certain, it tends to group a lot of the season questions together. What are the names of the monsters that are cut out of paper by Serrator? I don't even, and that's from Super Samurai. That's a recent season. Is it Papyrix? Oh, it is, because I guess that the name sounded like it. So, anyways, yeah, I mean that's really all there is to it. This is the last little set of questions here. So that is the Power Rangers Trivial Pursuit. There's 300 cards, so 1,800 questions. Even if I would say maybe, I don't know, 5% of the cards, which would be how much? If I can do my math, that would be like 15 cards. Even if 5% of the cards had bad questions, which is probably, that seems like it might be a decent, somewhat accurate number, maybe. Aside from all the spelling issues, I saw Japanese spelled with like an extra S in there too, some weird stuff. But even if you remove those cards, you still have a ton of other cards that you can use. So again, no excuses really for them for these issues. But it is what it is, and now that I have it, I'm still, enjoying, I guess, the product and all the trivia there. So again, basically it all comes down to the Power Force for submitting these questions. So thank you to the Power Force for this, and I am happy to have all this trivia to kind of go back and learn. So that should be fun. So yeah, that's about it. Power Rangers Trivial Pursuit. I got it off of Amazon. It's probably not going to be in stores unless you have certain hobby stores that might sell it. So track this down on Amazon if you want it. It is rather expensive, so again, judge accordingly based on what I've said in the video. And I know I've gone on long enough, so I'm going to end it right now. So thank you all for watching, and see you guys later.